everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back. Excuse me. Sorry about that, I had a tickle in my throat. But anyway, hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel. Or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes. And today in this video, I'm gonna go over the top 5 tricks that strangers pull / tricks you shouldn't fall for with strangers. So these are the tricks that strangers can definitely pull. And you should never fall for these tricks because you can end up getting kidnapped and never returning home. So this is a video just to teach you how to be aware of when these things happen so then you can avoid them, and so then you don't make a mistake and end up in a place where you don't want to be. So I'm going to get started and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So number 1 on my list would have to be when they drive up to your school or tell you that your parents sent you to pick them up. So this is one common thing that strangers do pull, is like when they drive up to your school and they pretend they're going to pick you up. They're not really going to pick you up. If you get in a car with a stranger, they're definitely going to end up kidnapping you. So if your parents aren't picking you up, you should call your parents and double check to see who is picking you up. And if you see a car you don't recognize, just go into the nearest office and then report it to either a supervisor at school and they can help you. Just if you see a car that you don't recognize and it has someone you don't recognize in the car and they say your parents sent you to pick them up, then don't fall for it. You know if your parents are picking you up from school or if they really sent somebody, because they would have texted you or told you ahead of time. Number 2 on my list would have to be when a stranger comes to your yard and tells you to come with them because they have candy. Don't fall for it because they literally will kidnap you. If a stranger asks you to come with them because they have lots of candy, do not fall for it. They're just only doing it just to get you to come with them so they can take you away. Right? Because this is one trick that a lot of strangers will pull when it comes to kids, because they know kids like candy and they know they can get the kids to come with them if they have candy. They don't really have candy. They're just only saying that as a joke to get the kids to come with them. So be aware when a stranger says that. Just if a stranger tries to go, do you want to come with me? I have candy. Just run away and tell an adult that you trust. Number 3 on my list would have to be when a stranger asks you to come to their car because they lost their dog. So this is a really important rule that you should follow, is not to come to a stranger's car if they ask you to come and help them because they lost their dog. If they lost their dog, they probably would have reported it they would have probably put signs up around. If they ask you to come closer and help them find their dog, don't fall for it because you don't know if they could grab you or not. So there's this story. I'm sure if you guys grew up in the 2000s, you probably remember the story of Samantha Run-On. I don't know how to say her last name, unfortunately. She was this little girl who was 5 years old. She was abducted from her yard. I'm pretty sure this was in California. I can't remember exactly where this happened, but she was abducted from her grandmother's front yard when she was outside playing with her friend, and she was lured from her front yard by this man who told her he had lost his dog, and he asked her to come and help him find the dog, and the man grabbed her, and luckily they were able to get the identification from the friend of the man. everything. Sadly, the little girl didn't survive her abduction, but luckily they were able to find the man who harmed the little girl. And this definitely did teach a lot of people at that time not to fall for when strangers ask you to help them find their dog. So you should be very careful. If somebody really loses their dog, they would have probably put signs up all over the place, or they would have called the pound. If someone asked you to come to their car and help them find their dog, don't do it, because they could probably grab you. Number 4 on my list would have to be when a stranger knocks at your door and says they're the repairman and asks to come inside. You would know if the repairman was coming or not, because your parents would have told you. If a man comes to your door and says the repairman and they don't have any tools in their hands, don't fall for it, because they probably could be a stranger trying to break into your house. So if you see someone you don't know who doesn't have any tools with them, do not let them in. Keep your door locked, and double check with your parents first to see if a repairman is really coming and what the repairman looks like. Number 5 on my list would have to be when a stranger asks you a question and asks you to come closer because they can't hear you. This is another trick that strangers pull, because if they say, "Oh, I can't hear you, can you come closer?" And if you do that, they could literally grab you and take you and abduct you. So if they ask you to come closer, just run away as fast as you can and as far as you can, because you don't want the stranger following you. If a stranger asks you a question, goes, "Excuse me, I'm lost, blah, 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 blah. And can you help me, yada, yada, yada." And if you say, "Okay," and you're giving them the stuff, but then they say, "Excuse me, I can't hear you, come closer." Don't try to come closer, because you can get grabbed, you can get kidnapped, and you'll never be able to be, so you can get grabbed or kidnapped. You don't want any of that stuff to happen to you. If you see a person trying to grab you, if a person tries to grab you, run away as quickly as you can, and then go into the nearest store and get help as quickly as you can, and call 911, because you don't want to get abducted by a stranger, because again, they're not going to bring you home. You're going to get harmed, you might get threatened. It is not a good thing. So if a stranger asks you to come closer because they say they can't hear you, it's a trick. They're only just saying that so they can grab you. Do not fall for it at all. If anybody tries to get you to do that, just run away. And if the stranger follows you, just get help from someone you trust. Okay, so those are my top 5 tricks that strangers pull that you shouldn't fall for. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye.